Are we live now? Are we? Hello everybody. Are we live? Give me a thumbs up if we are live. Send me a yes if we are live. Are we live? So who wants to be a leader? Yoo-hoo. I want to be a leader. I definitely want to be a leader. So welcome to another session of Rising Above the Average, and I am your humble host, Alan. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today on yet another exciting journey, on this journey called life. And I'm always so happy to be here with you all, right? I'm always looking forward to these lives and looking forward to what we can share together. And remember, it is never a monologue. This is a dialogue. You know what that means? So that means you speak and I speak. We both speak. We communicate. You know, we let each other know what we think about saying things about the topic of the day, don't we? So I'm so happy to be here again. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. If you're watching this live with me, or you're gonna watch this later on after this live, I still want to say thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for joining me whenever you can and listen to me sharing a few things that have helped me in my life, and hopefully they'll be of use to you. And feel free to also share with me the things that have helped you in your life. And I think I send a big thank you to those who've shared their testimonies, who've shared their the stories, the success stories with me. I love to read them stories. Keep them coming in, right? Keep them coming in. So as we always do, before we start, this session today, you know the drill, don't you, right now? The magic question: what have you learned this week? What have you learned today? What have you learned this week? Since we last met, what have you learned so far? What have I learned? Of course I'm going to share what I learned with you. So what have you learned this week? Okay, while I wait for you guys to come in, and while I wait for you guys to reply, I am going to share what I have learned this week. This week has been phenomenal. Literally mind-blowing. Honestly with you, I think almost every week comes with something different, right? Almost every week comes with a new experience, something different, something that happened and everything. But honestly, this week, many of the things that have happened in my life have taught me the importance of learning, the importance of opening your mind, the importance of sharpening your mind, like Master Ko says. So important. I don't think I can ever overemphasize the importance of continuous learning. It's so important. And you know what? We're going to get into this book, Think and Grow Rich, in a bit. We've been reading bits and pieces for a long time now. But for me, I've got to understand the importance of really, really studying, right? And again, studying life, right? You can study whatever, but really it's important for you to study life and how things happen, especially when you have a goal, when you have an objective that you want to achieve. It's important for you to learn and study. It's important for you to put yourself in a situation where all the odds are on your side. Importance where you have more probabilities bending towards you. And I love the term bending reality, like Vision uses. It says bending reality. It's important that whenever you have a goal, and I guess we all do, if you're here today, I'm sure you have a goal that you want to make, and that's why you're here. It's important for us to learn how to bend reality and bend it towards us, so that our probabilities of reaching that goal increases and are higher. So this week, I've learned the importance of really, really learning and studying. I've set out, next goals of my life, next things I want to achieve in my life, and I've got myself books. I wish I had my books here to share with you. Books to achieve them. My next financial goal, to achieve them, I got the book Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins, and I'm also reading Karma by Sadhguru. And my next goal is to to grow in my spiritual level, to grow my spiritual level, and to grow my finances as well, to grow my investment, understand investment, to understand how to handle my finances and different things, that has to do with life. So as I always share on this life, whenever I have a goal and objective, the first thing I do after setting the goal, right, and after getting clarity on the goal, is to get books, to get all the information that I can. So for me, I like reading, right? Some people don't like it, that's fine. I like reading, but I also do audiobooks. I love audiobooks to listen to on the go. I love watching YouTube. A lot of people have good content out there for free that you can access, right? So I love to listen to podcasts. I love to subscribe to their newsletters, their emails, so that the right information keeps coming into my emails. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletters yet, you've got to. Simply go to askalineanything.com and just click I'm in to subscribe to my newsletters. I send out, messages to help you on your journey, right? Messages that talk about how you can become the best version of yourself, how you can continue to rise above the average, how you can build your business, how you can stay motivated to achieve your dreams, right? So feel free to pop in. So as I was saying, the importance of continuous, never-ending learning. That's what I learned this week. So, and I'm always reading. I've read this book like 2 or 3 times. I keep reading it and reading it. It's really like a manual to me now. I keep reading it. As a matter of fact, I have this book club that's called the Success Club, where I meet with a few of my friends, and then we study success stories. At the moment we're studying this book, Think and Grow Rich. We study success stories and we learn from them, and we literally apply them in our own lives. And we've seen a lot of growth in us. And we believe that, and I personally believe that this is going to help you if you're committed to really achieving your goals. So, without any further ram, I'd like us to get into what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about leadership. Ooh, who's excited about that? Leadership. Who is a leader here? You. Or who wants to be a leader? Ooh, who's an aspiring leader? Ooh, me? Yeah, and I'm sure that if you're here, one way or the other, there's a calling in your soul to be a leader, right? I believe that we're all called to lead. Now the question is, would you accept the calling or would you decline, right? And if you're here, I'm sure that there's something within you that is saying yes to something, yes to a bigger opportunity, yes to a bigger yes to a higher level. There's something within you that's saying yes to a higher level. So today we'll talk about the major attributes of leadership, right? I'm going to read a short excerpt from Think and Grow Rich, right? We've been working on this book for some time now, Think and Grow Rich. And I believe that even after reading this book 10 times, I'll still read it again. I'll still pick up something from this book. This book is amazing. So it says, the following are important factors of leadership. Number 1. By the way, make sure you take notes, right? Or rewatch this. Number 1, it says unwavering courage. It continues by saying, based upon knowledge of self and of one's occupation, no follower wishes to be dominated by a leader who lacks self-control and courage. No intelligent follower will be dominated by such a leader very long. Number 2, self-control. The man who cannot control himself can never control others. Isn't that true though? Self-control sets a mighty example for one's followers, which the more intelligent will emulate. Number 3, a keen sense of justice. Without a sense of fairness and justice, no leader can command and retain the respect of his followers. Step number 4, definiteness of decision. The man who wavers in his decisions shows that he is not sure of himself. He cannot lead others successfully. Did you get that? If you're not sure of your decisions, you can't lead others successfully. It's so important for you to have definiteness of decision, right? Number 5, the 5th attribute. Definiteness of plans, the key word. The successful leader must plan his work and work his plan. A leader who moves by guesswork without practical, definite plans is comparable to a ship without a rudder. Sooner or later, he will land on the rocks and completely smash himself. So, attribute number 6, the habit of doing more than paid for. Whoa. One of the penalties of leadership is the necessity of willingness upon the part of the leader to do more than he requires his followers. To do more than he requires of his followers. Isn't that important? And if you really want to be a leader, you've got to be willing to do more than you require of other people. And by the way, isn't that a great quality? To require more of yourself than you require of other people. I love this. Tony Robbins always mentions this, that he requires more of himself than he requires more from himself than he requires of others. And isn't that a great quality to emulate? So let's move on. Attribute number 7, a pleasing personality. No slovenly, careless person can become a successful leader. Leadership calls for respect. Followers will not respect a leader who does not grade high on all of the factors of a pleasing personality. I love the old adage that says that I think attitude is the key to altitude. A pleasing personality is so important. I actually believe that. However, I relate with people who have pleasing personalities, right, and are working on their journey. Than really people who are so mean, right? No, I'd rather go with people with pleasing personalities. So attribute number 8 says sympathy and understanding. The successful leader must be in sympathy with his followers. Moreover, he must understand them and their problems. That's so important. A successful leader must be in sympathy with his followers, and he must understand them and their problems as well. So that was sympathy and understanding. So attribute number 9, mastery of details. Successful leadership calls for mastery of details of the leader's position. That's very, very important. You have to be able to look at the details, to go through every nitty-gritty and make sure that you are on top of the game. Make sure that you understand. And even if you can't do it by yourself, when you bring on help, you have to make sure that you understand what the outcome is that they are working on. What is their outcome? What is your outcome? You have to understand how to get there. So, attribute number 10, it says, willingness to assume full responsibility. Isn't that important? The successful leader must be willing to assume responsibility for the mistakes and the shortcomings of his followers. If he tries to shift his responsibility, he will not retain the leadership. Then he will not remain the leader. If one of his followers makes a mistake and shows himself incompetent, the leader must consider that it is he who failed. Do you get that? You have to be willing to take full responsibility as a leader. So step attribute number 11, this is the last attribute that he shares here. Cooperation. Cooperation. The successful leader must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort and be able to induce his followers to do the same. Leadership calls for power and power calls for cooperation. Isn't that important? Wow. Leadership calls for power and power calls for cooperation. Wow. Those are the 11 attributes of leadership by Napoleon Hills in Think and Grow Rich. And by the way, if you haven't gotten yourself this book, oh my God, you are missing out so much. You need to get this book. It is on Amazon. It's everywhere. I guess it's everywhere, right? You need to get the book Think and Grow Rich. Just type Think and Grow Rich on Google online, and I'm sure you can grab yourself a copy and make sure you read it. Because you know what? The same way you can think and grow rich is also the same way you can think and grow poor. And I don't know about you, but me, I don't want to be on the poor side. I want to be on the rich side. So on that note, this marks the end of our session today. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for always allowing me to serve you. It is always a thrill, it's always a pleasure, it's always a breeze to be here and enjoy some few minutes with you. I'm always happy to do that. Thank you. Today we talked about leadership and the major attributes of leadership. We talked about 11 attributes, and make sure you go back to this video and rewatch it again. Make sure you make notes and you take notes, right? And make sure the most important thing here, look, the most important thing, make sure you take action. Don't just know those qualities, make sure you practice them. Practice makes perfect, right? I love what Tony Robbins says, that repetition is the mother of mastery and the father of repetition is the mother of mastery. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, and the father of something, but I don't really remember what. Repetition is the mother of mastery and the father of maybe success. Anyway, you get the point. The point is, make sure you repeat this again and again, and make sure you practice. And by the way, feel free to connect with me anywhere, right? Feel free to visit my website, askcarolanything.com, right? And then check out. And if I can serve you in any way, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you guys. All right. So before we meet next week, make sure you take care of yourself and make sure you continue to grow and live with purpose. Bye now. Bye everyone. Take care. Bye.